what you need to do is you need to get the calculation. How much is it going to cost me to buy each year back? And would it be better to do that in ADCs or buy it back on
And is that something to go to a broker about? Because the maths is already bamboozling me. Like, you literally look at where your pension was reduced and you think, will I buy it back? Will I get an ABC? What will the benefit to me be? And I presume that's like calculable, but someone has to do the calculation.
Yeah, the first thing you need to do is you need to get the numbers. So you need to get the numbers, and if you can't make sense of them, then you need to talk to a broker. The problem with it is then how do you work out what the ABC? So it's definitely...
So they had to unpack his luggage, which was on the plane as it being, loaded.
Yeah.
Right? This all took time. Angelita was waiting with the Iberian staff inside the main airport, and he got through to, airside. So he came out, he was very upset, and they told us that they were putting him into the hotel for the night on his own. So we objected. We said that, he's a minor, we have a responsibility. This isn't best practice. And they told us that as far as they were concerned, he was an adult. I pointed out to them that they were operating in Ireland, and this was against the law here. They can't put 15-year-olds in hotels in Blanchardstown on their own. Anywhere. We offered to stay with him. They didn't want that to happen because they'd have to pay. We eventually made arrangements for him to stay in one of my friends' homes in Wicklow Town. The only thing they could offer, because all the flights are booked out, was that they flew him to London at 5 in the morning. He had to be at the airport at 5 to take an early flight to Heathrow and then get a connecting flight. So I objected to this because he is only 15. His English isn't perfect, and Heathrow is a very busy airport. I offered to put one of my staff with him to make sure he got to the right gate. That wasn't an option either.
Because Heathrow is confusing to the most seasoned
I
air traveller.
got lost there. I certainly wasn't sending, a 15-year-old with not great English on their own to try and get through that. Their argument the whole time was that he's an adult. 15 is not an adult in any country, and that's why I'm phoning you. This needs to be highlighted. It was appalling. Absolutely appalling. Eventually, we came up with a solution. They said that there wasn't another seat on the plane to Heathrow, so one of my staff couldn't go with him to make sure he got to the right gates at Heathrow. We eventually made a cunning plan, and that was basically to organise a wheelchair for Amiel and pretend that he needed assistance boarding. And I broke my foot a few years ago. I had the cast, we put it on him, and he went on the plane to Heathrow in a wheelchair.
As a passenger needing assistance.
An assistant, but yeah.
And when you say you put a cast on him, the boots, the boot that makes it
obvious. On him, and that was the only way that I could get an adult to go through the whole Heathrow process with him.
And did Iberia go along? Did Iberia know this?
Absolutely. Yes, they booked him in as a passenger needing assistance.
And he had to pretend he was in a wheelchair and had broken his foot.
Absolutely. Well, that he had some sort of problem. Yeah. And that was the only way we could get somebody, an adult,
to mind them,
to take responsibility to make sure he got to the right boarding gates at Heathrow. And he actually phoned me from Heathrow when your people were speaking to me earlier.
Okay.
He was really alarmed because he thought he was going to miss the flight. So we had our hearts in our mouths thinking now he's stranded in Heathrow, knowing nobody, when this should have been a very simple process. Iberia admit that they overbook because they hope people won't appear, and when they do, this is what happens. But my argument is that if you do this, which I don't think is best practice, you cannot leave a child behind. You don't leave a 15-year-old standing crying at the gate as he's about to get on a plane.
But Liz, did they offer any reason for picking him out to basically
put him off the plane? That were chosen, and they said to them, we've one seat. There was another girl who was a minor, and there was a lady, an adult. And the girl said that her friend was on the plane, she was feeling sick. They said, oh, well, if you're sick, you'll have to be that one. So she got on, and the other two were left.
But no one said, hang on, he's the youngest.
No, absolutely.
He's unaccompanied.
And he couldn't find anyone to ask. He was just told this. He was left on airside. He was phoning us constantly. He was frightened, and I mean, he was traumatized. It's been a very traumatic experience.
By the way, just to be clear, who came up with the idea of pretending to be disabled, so to speak?
Well, my coordinator,
Okay, that was from your end.
mother,
Okay.
and we suggested it to them because we'd no other way of making sure he was looked after.
Absolutely, and that was your primary...
That was our primary objective.
Yes,
We had the big
okay.
football thing in Spain tomorrow. We had to be there.
I can't imagine Heathrow for a 15-year-old. Has he ever been through?
I have got lost in Heathrow.
Yeah, but
That's
has
why
he-
I wouldn't look at it in any sort of way.
He hasn't got good English. Has he
No.
been? Has he been through Heathrow before?
No,
like
never
that?
been to Heathrow before.
He'd be lost in
Yeah,
terms of
I mean,
5, 4,
really, it
3,
would be-
2, 1. 5 terminals in Heathrow, isn't that correct?
That's correct. It wasn't an option the way they were trying to play it
Okay.
out.
Now,
They couldn't
what's-
find
what-
a flight anywhere else. They were all booked out.
What's your most recent communication with Iberia?
That was last night where I got quite, how would you say, forceful. And I said to them that, we cannot abandon a minor in a hotel on their own in Dublin. It's out of the question. And they stipulated that he was seen as an adult. I said to them, he's not an adult, he's 15. It's not best practice and it's dangerous.
By the way, when they said we put him in a hotel, you said, well,
One of us will go with him.
yeah, they said no way,
No,
we won't,
no.
no way, Jose, we won't pay.
Well, it wasn't quite put like that, but
Yeah, but
that's
they
what
said
was...
okay. They said they won't.
Yeah.
But did they say, however, if you look after him, Liz, we will give you?
No, that never came into it. I already-
Just sorry, just to be clear, Liz, when he bought the ticket, did he get was it a very cheap ticket that had loads
No,
of?
it wasn't a cheap ticket. It was a normal ticket.
No.
It wasn't kind of, pay now 60 euros or whatever. It wasn't one of those tickets.
Okay, but he.
And he had 2 suitcases checked in with him as well.
Okay, so he's now where? Where do you think?
Well, he now is, we brought him to Dublin Airport at 6 o'clock this morning,
When did you suit and boot him, so to speak?
in the car park. So we put it on, we went to the, I think it's called OCS,
Brilliant.
assistant, they're great. They put him in a wheelchair. They made arrangements with their British counterparts at Heathrow to collect him from the plane and to bring him through to the connecting flight. But that's what we took. That was the only way we could be sure that there was an adult with him and he would get there.
Okay, where is your language school, Liz?
We would actually work out of Gorey Community School in the summer.
Gory.
And we would do work in Greystones and Wicklow. It'd be kind of all over depending on the type of stay.
Okay, we will try and get information off Iberia. By the way, the name Einstein, I was
You
given
actually
the day
spoke
that.
to us many years ago. One of my host families phoned you,
Oh yeah.
and you had I think one of your topics was on famous people, and
That's
someone
right.
phoned us.
We got a relative of Charles
That's right.
Dickens
You spoke
living in Ireland.
to Paul, my husband.
Okay.
He's a relative. He got the name, but not the brain. He would say.
But his theory of relativity is that he's married to you.
Well, I would think that was a theory. Yes.
That's it. And you say he is related to.
Yeah, his grandfather and Albert were cousins. They all came from a place outside Munich called Ulm.
Well.
And Paul's family escaped from Germany just before the war, and they went to England. The English took them in. And I met him in South Africa years later.
And have you been to where the
I haven't. I have a daughter called Angelica that gets the letters addressed to Dr. A. Einstein. We find it very funny.
And is she a doctor?
No. I think she's got a PA or something.
Well, that's a headline in one of the scientific magazines today. Here's how that forced black hole image actually confirms Einstein's, your husband's granduncle. I'll try and work it out.
Cousin, yeah.
Your husband's cousin, Albert Einstein's theory of relativity.
I We heard about it a few days ago. It was on one of the television shows that we've been watching. You know, we've been keeping half an ear out for it. I mean, that theory, I think they took photographs. They were released last week, so we have heard some of it.
Yeah, I remember, in fairness, it was Stephen Hawking took it up, didn't he? He went after the black hole, so to speak. Okay, Liz, we'll get on to Iberia and ask about that, or even the Irish Aviation Authority. Can an airline working out of here say a 15-year-old is a child when the law in Ireland says a 15-year-old is
I mean, I
as
just
an
don't
adult?
want
Sorry,
it to happen to other people, Joe.
absolutely.
That's the reason I'm highlighting it.
Okay. Liz Einstein, thanks indeed for the kind
No
regard.
problem.
Okay.
Have a lovely day.
I hope he gets home safely. 51551. Terence, good afternoon.
Hello, Joe.
Terence.
How are you?
What's the problem, Terence? You're going to be evicted, unfortunately, you say.
Yeah, yes. I'm a tenant of PCC, Dublin City Council.
Yeah.
I've been a tenant of that for almost 26 years. And unfortunately, I've had OCD for about almost 50 years now. It's at the extreme end of the spectrum, but on top of that,
Obsessive.
Okay,
so obsessive
compulsive disorder, yeah. The obsessive compulsive disorder is very well controlled by antidepressants.
Okay.
And but there's hoarding going with it, and the hoarding is more getting worse. At least it's not getting better, and I've been told it really won't get better. And it's because of the hoarding that I'm being evicted. I'm in breach of my tenancy through the hoarding, and it's been through the court. The possession order was granted in the district court. I appealed it to the circuit court, and I lost there eventually.
I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry you're unwell, but you've contacted us because you want to raise the issue, or you want to appeal to DCC. Please help me. Or
well, I don't think there's any point in appealing to DCC at this stage. I mean, it's been through the system, and I think it's pretty determined to get rid of it.
Yeah, but you can't go to court and say I want this man out because he's hoarding. What? Obviously, they went under another umbrella.
A new piece of legislation came in 2014. The Miscellaneous Provisions Act, Housing Miscellaneous Provisions Act 2014. It came into effect in 2015 there, and under that, it's really for dealing with very difficult tenants and drug dealers and so on. But I'm breaching my tenancy, and that comes under it. Basically, because of the amount of stuff I have in the flat, I've been sleeping outside the flat. So,
and what do you mean outside?
Well, there's a sort of balcony outside the flat, and I just sort of camp there. Because I'm outside the flat, I'm in breach of the tenancy agreement, because you're only allowed to be outside your flat for so many days a year.
Because you're living on a balcony. You're not supposed to be living on a balcony.
No, I'm not supposed to be, no.
Hygiene and safety and fire escape and all. And they say...
Yeah, well, I'm on the ground floor. On the ground floor,
and
for a granny flat.
Terence, now you needn't answer any of these questions if you don't wish to.
Yeah, you're okay.
And I'm very conscious of what you said at the opening, that you suffer from OCD and that you are attending.
Yeah.
What do you hoard? What is in your flat at this stage?
Well, I mean, my recreation is buying periodicals like books on magazines on cars, bikes, and electronics and so on. So I would have a fair amount of those. I also collect books. But it's amazing what people throw out, and usually I collect things with the intention of passing them on or selling them on. But it sort of breaks down in the process somewhere along the way, and I end up with too much stuff.
So if I was to open your hall door from the balcony, what would I see?
You'd see a bit of junk, you'd possibly call it, that's what they call it. So,
can I make my way into the bedroom or the kitchen or the bathroom?
No, it's difficult at the moment. There's only one room, but it's a one-room flat with a small kitchenette and a toilet.
Okay, no, a lot of people like them like that. They're maintained really well by the corporation. If there's a problem or whatever, they'll come out quickly.
Yeah.
But has anyone ever offered to clear out your flat?
I did from a group called Hale. I did a group with Hale, are the semi-charity that are part funded by the HSE and part funded by DCC. And they were helping me. It was going reasonably well, but it broke down along the way. I was told different stories. I was told